Special City Council meeting, July 14, 2020. Krista, if you could start with the roll.
Sure. Mayor Odekirk,
Here.
Councilman Dickinson,
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin,
Here.
Councilman Hug, Councilman Morris,
Here.
Councilman Mudrin,
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman,
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon,
Here.
Councilman Turk.
I caught a bridge, he told me.
Before we go into closed session this evening, we have public comments. We have a few people that signed up this evening. First is Cedric Johnson. Just a reminder, you have 4 minutes to speak.
Krista?
Yeah, I'm just here again to bring forth this sense of killing that's been going on here in Joliet and all the hatred. And I mean, you know, I think about all these images that we see, that they kill us with. This is going way back, even before us. And what I don't understand, I look at the councilman like he up here on his phone. He don't really care. You know what I mean? Because it's like we put y'all here. How could y'all even let this happen? How can y'all let this happen and then hide it? Come on, man. The corruption here, we got to stop this. I mean, come on. This is just too much. And we can't even get no help from our own people. He's still on his phone. He don't really care about none of this stuff, man. It's sad that this is what we go through, and we're still doing the same thing. We're in the same place, brother. Can we get some help from anybody around here? Look, man, I'm just gonna rest that there for you all to just see. But this is what y'all continue to do to us. Just kill us. Just stop, man. The corruption. Even now, we don't even get economic power. Is that what you're working on here? Is that what you're working on? Because we still don't have it. Every time I look around, everywhere you go around this town is P.T. Farrell. Can we get any contracts? Do we get any major contracts? Mayor, can we get some? Brother? Sister? We know what they're gonna do. Nothing. We know they hurt. We know they hate. But we don't want to hate y'all. We don't even want to hate you. But good Lord have mercy, brother. The stuff that y'all doing up here is frightening. Come on, man. We got to be better than this as a community. Come on, y'all got to look within yourself. Half of you people y'all know who we is. Like we know who y'all is. The family, the European, you, her. Come on, man. Let's do better with this. With all this corruption, y'all send us to jails and y'all jails, prisons, half the time we innocent. And y'all know that too, but y'all still do it. But again, we ain't gonna let this stop. We're gonna bring hell on this city for what y'all done. We're gonna bring hell on the city for what y'all been doing. And we're gonna start it right here in Joliet.
Next is Minerva Sneed.
We were told that the video would be released by Monday and Tuesday, and I would like to know a date that the video will be released.
I don't have an answer. Sabrina, do you know?
I spoke to the police department this morning and this afternoon, and they were still working on. I don't have a confirmed
Well,
time
he
or date.
guaranteed us in that meeting when we left last week that he would have that video out Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, and I know the intention was to release it today. I
And
don't know
he
if it's been released.
also met with the family so they can view the video. So we want to know, when will this video be released?
I don't have that information. I would have to contact the police department to
Okay.
find that out.
And I would like to say, I was listening to WJOL. My mama used to listen to that station. How dare he see the video and the family haven't saw that video. Then he's spiraling this hate to all his viewers that possibly gonna sit on that jury. Come on now, people. And I wanna know who sits on these juries here. Because all my life, when I was living here, I was a registered voter. Ain't never been caught. How many people right here been called for jury duty. That is not convicts. I ain't never been to jail, ever, never. We want to start knowing who sits on these juries, because WJL spewed the hate before this case can even get started, telling his viewers, oh, he chewing on. How you know what he's chewing on? And he's spreading this to the viewers around Joliet, Illinois. And that's just not right. Because if it is a trial, y'all have allowed him to see the video, and he's a radio disc jockey. Why did he see that video before the family saw that video? He's a radio disc jockey. He should have never saw that video and on his show speaking about it. We have the clip of him speaking about why. So he can tank the juries? Because that's where we at now with it. Because he done told the whole Will County. Who sits on juries in here? Will County residents. Because this is Will County. No, he's spreading it all. Why did he see it? No one have the answer? Or who allowed him to see it? Somebody allowed.
It's public comment, so we're not here for a debate. I agree with you. It's outrageous that a few media members were shown the video before the family, or that the police department was denying FOIA requests to the media and then showed it privately. But that's what happened. But it's public comment, so we're not going to debate. Please make your
No,
comment.
I'm not trying, but I just want y'all to be aware of all the things that has transpired in this case that's not correct.
I agree.
And I want to address P.T. Farrell. Ever since I've been a little girl, that's all I have ever saw. Now it's Twins and Sons Contract Construction Corporation. Not one contract do this minority group get. P.T. Farrell is a multi-million-dollar company that got rich off of Joliet and Will County, baby. Now we got a minority company, Terry, Miss Gavin. I want to see them get contracts. I want to see them get contracts because I know what y'all did to him. Y'all probably gave P.T. Farrell the millions of dollars for that new courthouse, and then you probably wanted to give them hundreds of dollars. Come on, it's another construction company. They have a right to business too. P.T. Farrell been doing this since the 60s. Literally. It's time for somebody else to get some of this money. At least us. There never have been a minority contract company. Well, it was the man that worked for him. But how many black people do you ever know have worked for that company? Not many. I promise you. Start giving the Twins contracts, because I'm going to stay on y'all, because it becomes monotonous that you got one minority company in the city of Joliet, family live in Joliet, family from Joliet, and can't get a contract.
Ma'am, you're at the 4-minute mark. If you could wrap it up, please.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
want to see them get contracts, because I'm going to be back over and over. Y'all gave them that big contract last week. I'm going to be back over and over and make sure Twins Construction Company
Thank you.
gets some of it.
Mashana Mitchell?
So I was here last week, and as I said, I'm gonna come every week. Every time you guys have a meeting and I'm able to come, I'll be here because I want answers. My cousin had a family. We loved him. There is nothing you guys can say or do to bring him back. And I am so sick and tired of, we met with the Joliet police, and I'm sick and tired of the excuses that are being given to us. As a medical professional, I know that police officers, just like me, they have a duty to serve people. And if you come into my hospital and you're diabetic and you overate and your sugar is sky high, I don't get to say I'm not gonna treat you. because you should have known better. And the police don't get to pick and choose what they do, when they do it, and how they serve the people. And I want to know, I want you guys, when you guys have these closed door sessions, I want you guys to consider making every police officer, everybody that works for Joliet Police, they need to be held accountable, they need to have Narcan, and they need to do the right thing. If they don't know policy and procedure, they need to be trained on it. It needs to start right now. Just start all over. Everybody needs to train. The city, the police department, they must be held accountable for their actions or lack thereof. I watched that video, and when I went to that video the night before, I knew I was going, and I prayed. I prayed that morning, and I asked God to help me to look at that video in a different light. And as a nurse, as a professional, I saw multiple opportunities that they had to save my cousin's life. And at every opportunity they had, they chose not to. I want you guys, I want each and every one of you, if you got children, if you got loved ones, I want you to think about what we're going through. And you need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. You need to make sure that there are changes within the department and the city. Because if that city manager knew anything, you got to make sure it don't happen again. That's what you guys are here for.
Thank you.
Regina Jones.
Hi, my name is Regina Jones. I'm a former resident of Joliet. I live in Georgia. I came all the way down here from Georgia because I have some concerns and complaints about what has happened here in Joliet, my city, where I was born and raised. I wish Chief Al and Chief Deputy Gavin was in here. I have questions for them too. I have questions for State's Attorney James Glasgow, and I have questions for Mayor Bob. This is my list of questions. What date did you read Sergeant Doug May written police report? What date did you review the video? Was the server checked to see who all accessed that video, date and times? What date did the coroner view the video, and what date was it sent to the coroner to view the video? Betty Gavin, you're over at District 4, The Hill, where I was born and raised. I have a problem with how you do not support the community fully. And my problem is that you let contracts come through that community and did not give anyone in that community any jobs. The state section law, Section 3 says that you are supposed to give the community jobs first before you let anything goes outside of that community. No one in that community has received any jobs in that community, but a few. And the few that did receive those jobs in that community, they let them work a few weeks, laid them off, and still kept them on federal payroll. There's a $23 million contract that's going on right now, and not one hood brother, hood sister, nobody's father, nobody's sister, nobody's nephew, niece, cousins in that community has a job in that district. You have failed District 4. And you need to get up, beat it, or go. Thank you.
Loreta Hobbs.
I'm going to control my composure with everybody here. Mike, Pat, Jan, Terry, Sherry, Don, Larry, and Betty. Where's Steve? Where's Steve Jones? Where's the city manager at? Why hasn't he fired Lieutenant Jeremy Harrison? Why hasn't he fired Lieutenant Larry Collins? Why hasn't these officers like Chief L. Rochner, Chief Deputy Daryl Gavin. Now, let me pull myself back to this. Betty, you didn't sign that paper because Daryl Gavin is your nephew. So let me tell you how conflict of interest does not play a part. You shouldn't even be on this council. You need to remove yourself immediately. You need to step down and resign. A lot of y'all need to step down and resign. There's too many contracts here. It's too many contracts. Yeah, I have enough background to hold the city manager job right now. But I would not work for you. I would not work for nobody that I cannot deal with bullies. That's one thing I would never deal with. But if you check my resume, I have enough to run this city too. But I'm gonna tell you what, it's justice for BJ. Y'all need to get it in order.
Susanna Ibarra.
Y'all gotta learn to sleep at night. You have to.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I want to know, why is the city of Joliet sitting on their hands regarding police reform? Almost every state or your state has either passed legislation or is taking steps to reform community policing. Chicago created a task force with no ties to the police department at all. Colorado passed sweeping reforms, SB 2217, literally overnight. Louisville passed Breonna's Law immediately. Gary established a police commission with no ties to the police department. Racine created a police task force, and their population is only 77,000. Almost every major city is looking or have cut their police department budgets, including Los Angeles, New York, Portland, Austin, Hartford, Connecticut, whose population is 122,000. Norman, Oklahoma, whose population is 123,000. Joliet's population is 148,000 people. There is no excuse for this city. We demand action of police reform and accountability. Every member of this council is responsible. Terry Morrison, we know you are sitting on your hands. Terry Morris is the chair of the legislative committee. He could bring proposals tomorrow and pass them if he was the leader that he says he is. By the way, Terry Morrison, the Lori family trusted you with the body of their son, brother, uncle, cousin. You know what happened to that body. I know you know what happened to that body. A funeral director has an intimate relationship with the people that they wake. I know you know what happened, so you're no hero for signing that letter. So, let me tell you this. I think you should resign, Terry Morris. I think you have too tight ties to the police department and the police union who paid off your debt, or maybe that was Mayor Odekirk who paid off your campaign finance debt that was over $30,000. So our police reform proposals are to decrease the budget, to put and reinvest money back into over-policed communities. The city of Joliet must move to create an independent civilian oversight body, regularly commission a survey. We need transparency. We need accountability. We need to know these officers that continue to create a problem in our community with our brothers, uncles, sisters, cousins, and everyone here wants accountability. Require the use of body cameras. Ban the use of chokeholds and neck restraints. End policing of broken windows and fences. We can establish a team of mental health workers and social workers to be first responders in the case of suicide, overdose, and other mental health crises. After a really nice protest on Sunday that the mayor put out was a riot, let me tell you, this city is over-policed. Those agreements that you made with the police union, and their contract is not signed yet, everybody, the police union's contract is not signed yet. They're working without a contract, which means they're working with the old contract. They are making so much money to terrorize this community.
The highest in Illinois.
I could go on and on. You've seen the list of reforms. We presented them over a month ago. You could bring it forward, Terry. You're the chairman of the legislative committee, which means any change that happens legislatively has to go through you. You Don Duck Dickinson, and Jan. All of you guys could be the leaders you say you are, the leaders you pretend you are, signing letters, but not doing anything, just sitting on your hands. I could sign a letter tomorrow, that does not make me a hero.
Ma'am, you have
So
the
we
4-minute
want
mark.
police
Can you wrap it
reform.
up, please?
Okay, I'll just finish with this. The use of body cameras, why don't you have them? Because I bet all the lawsuits that you guys are getting against the city of Joliet, I'm telling you, body cameras would be a lot less expensive and show the true story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I come back to the podium, please?
Is there anyone else that would like to speak that hasn't already spoken?
Hope the next thing is they're gonna hire Marty back, since he was doing such a fine job.
Question, she said, are you gonna hire Marty back since you doing a fine job? Young lady right here asked you that.
You gonna hire Marty back since he was doing such a fine job for the city of Joliet?
I would love
Is there
to.
anyone else that would like to speak?
I said I would love to.
Mayor?
Ma'am, it's public comment, but yeah, I think my position, and that's pretty clear. I've been very outspoken about that for the last year, so.
About what?
Your question. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Mayor Odekirk and City Council persons. I'm Pastor Wilburn of Mount Moriah Baptist Church at 1503 Arthur Avenue, 60431. I have been inundated with calls from members, from mothers in our community, each and every day, literally. And I come this evening on behalf of the family and the clergy. I prepared a written statement here to support this family and to ask that justice be done and that accountability be the order of the day. Dr. King once remarked that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Later on, former President Obama made some similar kind of statements. Later on, former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder made similar comments, but he extended it and he said that only happens when people pull on it. This afternoon, the community is pulling on that. The family is pulling on that. Eric's life really did matter. Eric is gone too soon. But I have a pointed question and a question for us to ponder on this evening. What would you do had it been your loved one? Reflect on that is all that I'm asking today. Black lives have been lost over and over. All of us have seen this played out on social media, on radio, seen it on television. I asked the question again, what would you do had it been your loved one? All I'm trying to say is that there needs to be some real reform here in our police department and all across the country here. As a pastor, I am tired of officiating and attending the funerals of young black men and young black women.
That comes to minor funeral home, Terry.
That's right.
That comes to your funeral home, Terry.
I ask that today, if you would just look deep within yourselves and look for truth, look for justice, and ask that there be some real accountability and some real resiliency. And I'm asking that you would consider doing, the right thing for this family, for your constituency, for this community. Yes, a life that's gone too soon. And the only way we will have real peace and continued faith in our city leaders is that the right thing will be done and that we continue to try to bring real peace, across this community, across, this city. As you look in the mirror, I want you to ask over and over, what would I do, had this been my son, or my husband, or my child, or my father, would you want accountability? Would you want to see some reform? Let's do the right thing. God's blessings be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none, is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel or pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried.